Hi guys, it's Monday Moments with Sarah. I'm hoping y'all had a good weekend. Yay for it almost being Thanksgiving break. That's exciting. So what I wanted to share with you guys this week is about conflict resolution. So conflict resolution is taught in high scope. It teaches 6 steps on how we help children learn to resolve conflicts inside the classroom. And it helps us give them the problem solving skills, but also teaches language and social skills. Basically, it's us teaching them how to resolve those conflicts. So step 1 is approaching calmly and stopping any hurtful actions. So we know that a lot of times how we are feeling or reacting affects the children. So if we're calm, then they're going to be calm. If we come up and we're all tense and all tight, and then they feed off of that, and we don't want to do that. So that's why we're going to approach calmly. And it says stopping any hurtful actions. So if someone's hitting or trying to bite or pushing or pulling, then we're going to stop that. We're going to place ourselves between the children. We're going to be on their level. We're not going to be standing over them, lording over them. And we're going to use a calm voice and gentle touch. And we're going to remain neutral. We're not going to take sides. We're not going to say, well, I saw you take that toy, or I saw that you had that first, or you need to give it to them. It's us being neutral. It's their problem. We're not taking sides. The way we stop hurtful actions is we're going to say, I cannot let you hit. I see you're angry, but I cannot let you hit. My job is to keep you safe, or the hitting must stop. Those are words that we can use, but again, we're going to stay calm. Next, step 2 is we're going to acknowledge the children's feelings. So we might say something like, you look really upset, or you look sad. I see you have tears. You're going to acknowledge those feelings. You're going to let the children know that you need to hold any object in question. So you're going to say, I'm going to hold it. Now, I sometimes had children who were like, they didn't really want to give it to me, but I just reassured them saying, I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to them. I'm just going to hold it while we solve the problem. Because it just kind of kept it out of sight, out of mind a little bit, and made it a little bit calmer to help solve that problem. And then it kind of kept them from tugging and pulling and causing even more problems. So now after you've approached calmly, you've stopped the hurtful actions, you've acknowledged their feelings, and you have the toy in your hand or any object that they're fighting over in your hand, then you're gonna, number 3, gather information. So you're gonna ask, what's the problem? Don't ask why questions like, why did you hit? Or why did you take the toy? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why. We just need to solve the problem. So we're gonna say, what's the problem? And they might just go on this whole, they took this and I had this first and I want this toy and I wanted to play with it. But at this point, we're just listening. We're gathering information. We're gathering information from both sides. Again, we're not taking sides. We're remaining neutral. Number 4, we're restating the problem. So the problem is, so if I had 2 children who wanted the same chair, and I'm holding that chair and I'm saying, okay, I see you're both very upset, or I see you have tears and you're feeling sad. Okay, what's the problem? And they tell us. Then I'm going to restate that. I'm going to say, okay, Margaret, you said that you had the chair first and you really want to sit in it. And Jude says that he really wants to sit in the chair. So I'm hearing that the problem is you both want to sit in the chair. That's it. You're just saying the problem, restating the problem. So the problem is we both want the chair. Number 5 is you're going to ask for ideas for solutions and choose one together. So it's not going to be us solving the problem for them. It's going to be us asking them for ideas. What can we do to solve this problem? And listen to their ideas. Encourage them to think of a solution. They are totally capable. Now, a lot of times when they give solutions, we don't necessarily like their solutions, because to us, we want everything to be fair. And in our mind, like, even though we're not really taking sides, in our minds we're going, but I know Margaret had the chair first and I saw Jude take it. Doesn't matter. That's not the problem that he took the chair. It's not the problem that she had it first. The problem is they both want the chair and they need to find a solution that they agree upon. So they might come up with ideas like, oh, she can sit it at snack and I'll sit in it at lunchtime. Or let's get another chair that is exactly the same. Or maybe they'll sit in for 2 minutes and then they'll switch. This, by the way, is a great time to bring in that solution kit, especially with the older children. They could set, there's the solutions in there, like set a timer. You can suggest, like if they're not coming up with an idea, well, why don't we get the solution kit? Let's look and see if there's a solution in there that we can use. But encourage them. I tried to not add my own solution until I saw like maybe they weren't coming up with a solution on their own, but I would word it saying, you know, I think I have an idea. Is it okay if I share my idea with you? Because I wanted to make sure that they understood that this was their problem and they are capable of having solutions. And it's only me butting in my 2 cents until if they say it's okay. And then number 6, once they've found the solution and they both agree on it, then we're going to be prepared to give follow-up support. So we're going to acknowledge their accomplishments. You solved the problem. I might do this all. We solved the problem. We solved the problem. Problem solved. Problem solved. And then done. But then also you want to stay nearby in case like anyone's not happy with the solution and the process needs repeating. So sometimes they might have decided, okay, we're going to play rock, paper, scissors, and whoever wins rock, paper, scissors gets the chair. Well, sometimes they don't win rock, paper, scissors, so they don't get the chair, and they're upset. At that point, you need to be there to either repeat the process, or you need to be there and say, yeah, it's really, you feel really sad. You said that we could play rock, paper, scissors, and you didn't win rock, paper, scissors, so now you don't have the chair. Maybe next time we'll think of a different solution, or maybe next time we can do something different. But being there to support, so again, it doesn't end up becoming a physical altercation between them. And sometimes, again, so what could help with the conflict resolution, have those steps printed out, posted in your classroom. When I was really new at it and when my assistants were really new at it, we didn't just place it in one spot in the room. So that way if we placed them in different walls and different areas of the room and down like kind of lower level. So obviously, because if we're down on the children's level, I don't want to be sitting there looking up like this, like what is that step again? I want to be looking right at that level. So I put them a little bit lower and I put them in each area. So whatever area was in, I could quickly look and say, oh, wait, that's that step again. Okay. The important thing to know is it takes time. You're not going to know it right away. The kids are not going to know it right away. But as you practice and practice and practice, they're going to start doing it on their own. And I used to be like, yeah, right. But then I actually started seeing the kids solve problems on their own. And I used to see kids go, I'm going to go get the solution kit. And they just go run and get it themselves. Or I would come over and they could just see me coming to help them solve that problem. And they'd be like, oh no, we already got it. It's solved. We got it. The other important thing to know is sometimes you're going to have to use all the steps. Sometimes you're going to take a lot of time doing all the steps. And sometimes you're not going to need to do all the steps. I remember there was a time that licensing was there, not licensing, but PQA, and they were assessing my classroom and scoring them for quality. And I'm sitting there doing conflict resolution with this child, and literally it was 20 minutes of problem solving about a block, and nothing was going to work to solve that problem. They're like, nope, I don't want to do that. Nope, I don't want to do that. And I'm sitting there holding this block going, oh my gosh, they're watching. And literally after 20 minutes, they're like, I don't want the block. I'm going to go play with something else. And they walked away. And I felt frustrated, but we had to go back to that problem was solved. It was done. It was overwhelmed, and they didn't care at that point. It was done. So to them, that was solving the problem. But I think that person observing definitely looked at me and just kind of laughed, because I was like, yeah, that's how it goes sometimes with kids. I kind of do that. So now with children too, I will say, if they choose to start walking away, I'll say, oh, we're working on solving the problem. If you walk away, then you're telling me you don't want this. If you do want it, then we have to stop and solve the problem. And usually that'll bring them back. Otherwise, they just might say, I don't want it anymore, and I'm over it, and that's okay. And the important thing is we want to not be just practicing this in preschool and pre-K. We want to be working on it with older toddlers. We want to be using it with younger toddlers, and we want to be using it with older toddlers. A lot of older toddlers and the older infants, I think I said that, they're gonna need a lot of your support. It's gonna be a lot more of the teacher verbalizing and a lot more of them giving them ideas. It's gonna look a little bit different because they might not be as vocal. They might not have that language development. But when you start practice, it may look more like you just stating what you're saying. They had that toy and that made you really sad, or they don't want you to take that toy, or it'd be a lot more of you offering solutions. Again, we don't want to just be like, oh, nope, they had that, give that back. But the more we practice it with those older infants and those younger toddlers, then it's not something new when they come to preschool and pre-K and they're already set up for that success to be able to problem solve and they're all ready to go. So they should be somewhat familiar with it in that younger age group. So again, just that younger age group, it's a lot more of you guys vocalizing it and saying it for them and verbalizing it until they are at that level where they can start doing it themselves. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can comment on it. You can email me, sarah@greengardencdc.com. If you need a copy of the conflict resolution steps, so you can hang them in your classroom, you can let me know and I can email them to you. And that way you have them posted in your room, but that's really something we want. Okay? Well, I hope you guys have a good evening and I'll see you next week. And have a good Thanksgiving. Bye.